So yesterday we started with procure to pay cycle. I think I already shared recording with you, yesterday's recording with you. Okay, and in that we have seen starting from creation of purchase requisition to PO, and importantly we discussed the new output management in SAP S4, and then we were trying to do the MIGO, where I told you there is one important topic that we need to discuss, okay, which is mandatory activation of material ledger. So we'll start from there. What we will do is we will come to the same point. We will start with transaction Migo. Okay, so what I told you yesterday is material ledger is a functionality which is not a new one. There are various scenarios under which companies they decide to implement material ledger. Three of the most common scenarios are: one is if you want your materials management also into parallel currencies, like you don't only want to maintain your materials management in your local currency, you also want the materials movement to be reported in, let's say, headquarters. Like for example, if you are having the company code in India, so you are already maintaining in INR, but in addition to it you also need to maintain these things in USD. So in that case you need to mandatorily activate material ledger. Second is material valuation or parallel valuation, which means from financial point of view you already know that there are different kind of ledgers. So for example, one is for your locals gap, let's say second is for IFRS. Now if there is different treatment for materials also in local gap and IFRS, then you need to maintain your materials movement also into two separate books. So again material ledger will be handy. And third one is the actual costing, okay, where there are a lot of benefits which are coming from controlling. So these are the three common scenarios where companies may decide to go with this one, material ledger. But only difference is, till now in ECC material ledger was not mandatory. So if you have this requirement, then you activate it. If you don't have, there is no need to activate. But the problem is, since there are two different ways, if you are using material ledger, there are different set of tables. If you are using normal inventory valuation, then there is a classic set of tables. So what is happening is there are multiple tables which are serving the same purpose. Okay, so what SAP has decided, this is not only for material ledger. You will find lot of things like credit management, rebate processing. We are going to discuss lot of things where you will find that SAP has tried to remove the functionality or remove the component which is duplicate. So for example, this inventory valuation is already available in classic inventory valuation and material ledger. So instead of keeping these two separate set of books, why not just keep one and provide all the features of both the functionalities into one component? So what they said, let's delete the normal classical inventory valuation, because whatever can be done in inventory valuation, that can also be done in material ledger. So irrespective of whether companies have this requirement of actual costing or parallel currency or parallel valuation, you need to activate material ledger technically. So if you really have the requirement from the functional point of view, you will activate these features. Otherwise, you will just technically switch on the material ledger, so that now there is only one component which is taking care of this particular requirement. Okay, so that is the whole idea behind this concept. It's too slow today. Is it from yesterday itself? Satyendra, you were also complaining. So same thing.
In evening, it's working. Means it's slow, but it's not much slow.
Yeah, I already
But
told the vendor to the RAM itself. Okay, so now if I try to post this, you remember we'll be getting a message that material ledger for this valuation area active. So mandatorily, we need to activate material ledger for this particular valuation area. Valuation area is nothing but plant. If you remember when we configure the enterprise structure, we need to specify what is our valuation area, whether it is company code or it is plant. But normally, I think 90% of the cases, we always go with valuation area as plant, because in manufacturing, you definitely need to have valuation area as plant. If this is like this, it will be very difficult. Let's see. This one is a little bit faster.
Gaurav, also you providing access for 1610 to us, right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Ankur.
Your voice is not coming.
Okay, now.
Little bit. I'm not able to hear you, Gaurav.
What others? Indra, are you able to hear me properly?
Uh, Nobody able to hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Gaurav.
Yes, yes.
Yes, what I was mentioning that you are also giving us access to 1610, right?
1610 already gave you, this is 1610. What you are getting is 1610 now.
Okay. So
And
what about that 1709?
yeah, 1709. Once you complete the 1610, the next month I'll give you 1709.
Okay, next month. Okay, fine.
So 2 months, as I told you, 1610 for 1 month and
Hmm.
then 1709 for remaining one.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so this is the error that I was talking about. Material ledger is not activated for valuation area SL18. Now this is a problem. And as I told you, even if there is no functional requirement to activate material ledger, we need to do this technically. Now how to do that? Just click on this question mark. Okay, here very clearly it is written what needs to be done. So what it is saying is material ledger is not activated. Okay, in this system environment, which is S4HANA, material ledger is obligatory. Hence, for all valuation areas, material ledger must be active and being set productive. We'll talk about this, what is being set productive. Okay, so in order to do these two things, first one, you need to make it active. And second is you need to make it productive. So in order to activate, you need to go to transaction OMX1. Okay, you need to follow this, whatever is written, you need to tick on the checkbox and you need to write 2 in column price determination indicator. This is fine. Second is you go to transaction CKM start. Okay, and there you will be saying that my valuation area is productive for material ledger. I'll show you what exactly does it mean. Okay, so first one is go to OMX1. So what I'll do is I will come out of this. No. Okay, I'll go to OMX1. Okay, this transaction is by the name itself activation of material ledger. Okay, here you can see these are different valuation areas, different company codes. Now our valuation area is SL18. You can see this is not active. Okay, that is the reason it is causing a problem. Now, as I told you, if you are only doing this because it is mandatory, while from the functional point of view there are no requirements at all to activate material ledger, then it is fine. You come here and you say it is active. Otherwise, if you think even functionality point of view, customer is looking for activation of actual costing or maybe parallel currencies or maybe parallel ledgers, in that case you should not touch this. You can definitely transfer this thing to your controlling consultant, because in that case definitely your controlling consultant is already working on this. So how will you come to know whether this is a physical requirement or not? Just contact your FICO consultant. He will be able to tell you whether customer is going to use material ledger actually or not. If it is not, then you can easily come here and you can say this is activate. But the problem is you cannot see, you are not able to do this. Why this thing? Because if I follow this transaction, if I follow this help, I think it is closed. If I follow this help, it is saying go to transaction OMX1, activate it and go for price determination indicator 2. The reason is this help was created for 1511. Okay, if you go to server 1511, then you can easily tick on this. You can say this too. But now in 1610 and also in 1709, there is one additional step. Okay, I'll show you. So you cannot directly come to OMX1. You first go to OMX. There are 3 transactions: OMX1, OMX2, OMX3. So instead of these transactions, I will recommend to go through SPRO, because everything is in a particular sequence. Okay, so go to IMG, controlling, product cost controlling, material ledger, okay, actual costing, material ledger, and these 3 things I'm talking about. Assign currency types and define material ledger types. Assign material ledger types to valuation area, and finally activate material ledger for valuation area. You need to perform these 3 things. If you are in 1511, these 2 are not required. These 2 are not available. You can directly go to OMX2 and you can specify that for this particular valuation area, material ledger is active. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. What is this and why it was not available in 1511? So normally in SAP ECC, when we say we are going to use material ledger, and as I told you, let's say our requirement is parallel currencies. Okay, apart from our local currency, we can use up to 2 parallel currencies, same as FI. In FI also, when they configure the currencies, apart from the local currency, you can assign up to 2 parallel currencies to your company code. Now in ECC, if you are using this material ledger for parallel currency, automatically those 2 currencies that you defined in FI, they will become parallel currencies even in this one also, in material ledger also by default. That is the reason you can see here currency types from FI, currency types from CO, okay, and manual. There are 3 options. So these options were not available earlier. In ECC, it was only that you can use the currencies from FI or CO. You cannot provide your manual currencies. But now with 1610, they came up with this approach that you decide what currencies you want to use, whether you want to copy it from FI or you want to copy it from CO, or you want to have some manual third currency which is not available in FI and CO. Okay, but you don't need to worry about that much. So normally this is the only one which is provided by SAP now, 9000. These are all created by, again, for the practice purpose. Okay, so this is something which is provided by SAP 9000 starting from 1610. If you see ECC, it is all time 0, and that is by default. You cannot change anything. But here 9000 means what? 9000 means you can specify your currencies. Now let's say, for example, if I double click here, you can see for this material ledger type only local currency, which means there is no parallel currency requirement. So this is a perfect fit where you are just doing it technically. Now, for example, you realized that customer is interested in having parallel currency. So apart from company code currency, he also want to see, let's say, USD, which is a hard currency. So in that case, instead of touching this standard one, what you will do, you will create another one. And again, you will not, it will be created by your controlling counterpart. So he will create a material ledger type with whatever currencies are required. Okay. And then in the next step, he will assign that material ledger type to the valuation area. Okay, so technically, when we are talking about technically activation, we are only going to use 9000 because we don't want any other parallel currency to be used. So in that case, what we need to do, we need to click a new entry here, and we need to tell the system that for SL18, we are going to use standard material ledger type without any parallel currency, only company code currency. Okay, and just save this. Okay, now why this is 0? This is some problem. This should be green. Let me come out of this. Yeah, now it is green. I think there was some time it was taking. So this green is okay. Okay, which means now your valuation area SL18 is properly assigned to standard material ledger type, where we are just technically activating it and we are not going for any additional currency. For example, you see this. Now somebody has created UT00, and accordingly he must have added some currencies which are required by this particular plant. Okay, but if you are doing only technically, this is sufficient. 9000 is sufficient. So now you are done with two steps. First is you create a material ledger type if required, otherwise you use 9000. Second is you assign your material ledger type to your plant. And third one is you come here in transaction OMX1, where you say whether your material ledger is active for a particular plant or not. So if I now go to SL18, which is OMX1, you can see now, since this is green, earlier it was grayed out. Since it is green, I have the option of activating it, and it was saying go for price determination indicator 2. Okay, so this is what I followed, whatever was available in the help. Just activate this and go for price determination indicator 2. Save this. Now you are getting another message. After activating material ledger, live data must be converted. So as I told you, there are two steps. One is you activate material ledger. Second is you make it productive. So same thing, system is saying after you activate, so first step is done. Live data must be converted means it has to be productive. Now what do you mean by that, productive? I'll give you one example. Any question till now before I go to the productive part? Okay. So let's take this example. You are using, let's say this is not a new implementation. You are doing it for the customer who is already using SAP from years. Now in that case, If customer is already using SAP and from 5 years and he is not using material ledger till now. Now all the transactions, all the related transactions which are done in the system, they are posted into the traditional tables, right? Traditional set of tables. Now the problem is, if I can activate a material ledger from here, is it sufficient? It is not sufficient, because I also need to make sure that whatever old transactions are posted, they are also migrated to the new set of tables, to the new component. Okay, that is exactly what is productive. Productive means you are transferring old data also. So whatever transactions you have done when material ledger was not active, those transactions also need to be moved to the new component. Okay, but in case of new implementation, there is no data. So it will be like within the fraction of seconds, it will be completed. But if you are in conversion project, definitely it will take time based on how much transactions you have in the system. Okay, so how to make it productive? If you remember in the help, it was saying to go to transaction CKM start. This is the transaction, production startup of material ledger. I'll show you the path also. You can go through accounting, controlling, product cost controlling, actual costing material ledger. Here you have environment, production startup, and CKM start. So set valuation areas as productive. Just specify the plant here, which is SL18. Okay, background processing is okay, and since we don't want to perform test run, we can directly perform the production run, and we know there will not be any impact because there is no data at all. Okay, just click on execute, and since it is background processing, it will ask for job details. Okay, it is asking for job. I'll say start immediately, confirm. LP01. Okay, background job has been scheduled. If I now go to transaction SM37, right, or background job, and see whether it is finished. You can see it is finished within the fraction of seconds, 16 seconds around. Okay, so now even the production startup is done. So both the activities, activation as well as productive, is done. Now if I try to go for MIGO, since now for our plant material ledger is already active, now it should allow us to proceed. It may give some other error if configuration is missing, but otherwise not the same error. Okay, item okay, and try to post. I think it will ask for FBN1. We have not maintained the number ranges. Let's see. Yeah, any question till now? Yeah, it is asking for FBN1 because the intervals are not maintained. Okay, so this is the common error. Like in we maintain the number ranges. Similarly, we also need to maintain in FI, which is FBN1. Okay, and here instead of maintaining number one by one, I'll just copy it from company code 0001 to SL18. So all these standard number ranges will be copied as it is. Okay, let's try now to post this. Okay, now it will generate the material document and we'll see the flow, how the tables are different in SAP S4HANA compared to traditional ECC tables. So what do you think? Which tables will be updated when you post this document? At least from ECC perspective, which tables are affected when you post Migo?
MSIG,
MSIG for line item,
uh, MKPX for header,
yeah, MKPF for header. What else? There are around 32 tables that are affected in the background. So, okay, there are around 32 tables which are affected in the background when we are talking about ECC. Because if you remember, I told you there are a lot of aggregate tables. There are a lot of index tables, okay, which are affected. For example, MARC, MARD, these tables are also affected with the unrestricted quantity. Okay, so what I mean to say here is now instead of those number of tables, if you now see, there will be only one table which is affected, which is MATDOC. I'll show you, but first it is throwing some error. Now this error is very straightforward, although it is relevant to financials, but since you are working on the system where you are practicing, you don't have a consultant, I'll show you how to solve this. This is related to simple finance. Okay, again, this error, if you show to normal FICO consultant, he will be completely, will not be able to help you out. Okay, this is completely related to simple finance only. And it is very straightforward. You click on this question mark. So in order to solve this, SAP is proposing you two programs. Okay, if you go to this program, it will show you all the errors in simple finance in all company codes. Okay, again, you will get confused which is my company code, right? So you can see for this company code, this is a problem. For this company code, this is a problem. Okay, but if you want to see only your company code, then click on the second program. In 1511, you don't have this program, only this one. So it was too confusion to find out which is the error relevant to us. But now they provided this with 1610. Okay, you click on this, it will only show you the errors related to specific company code that you are working currently. Okay, it is saying correct the customizing settings for ledger. Conversion settings are not consistent for local currency, and this is the main error. The version 0 of CO area SL18 is not assigned to any ledger. So we need to assign version 0 to any ledger in FI. So this is FI and CO reconciliation. We are not assigned CO version to FI ledger. So that is the only thing that we need to do. I'll click on new, go to SPRO. This is called as conversion cockpit, migration to S4HANA Finance. We are going to talk about this in detail when we'll talk about conversion project. Okay, we are currently seeing all the things from the new implementation point of view. Once we are done with that, we'll talk about conversion. So if you come here in preparation for general ledger accounting. Okay, and here there is one step called as define ledger for CO version. You come here, click on new entry. Controlling area we created was SL18. Version 0, which is assigned to ledger 0L, which is a standard leading ledger. Okay, that's it. Just click on save. This will be done by your FI consultant in actual project, but here you have to do. Okay, so once this is done, if you go back now, just come out of this and just try to post once again. Maybe we need to go out. We go. Still it is there is a error. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, there, that is solved, but there is also some other error. Conversion settings are not consistent for local currency. Let's see what is that. I think this is some other error which belongs to some other company code. But since this is performing the complete check, it is stopping us. Let's see. This is a table. Let's go and see what is the problem. Source currency type 00M. Translation date type. Okay, correct value it is saying 3. It should be 3. So just follow me if you are also getting the same error. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about this part. If you are getting this error in your actual system, this is completely FI, Simple Finance. Ledger, leading ledger is 0L. Company code settings. Our company code is SL18. I'll talk about this integration. Okay, but see, this problem doesn't belongs to us because we are not using any. I think this is creating the problem. Company code currency, it is saying it should be 3. This is a problem, and the thing is, this cannot be changed over here. Sorry, this is first time I'm facing this issue. Definitely there must be some solution here. Gateway, no. Let me go to currency types, financial accounting. Actually, this is the only place. It is already open, I think. We need to change this. That is the only problem. To translation date. Okay, let's do like this. Company ledger 0L, which is our leading ledger. Company code settings. For our company code, which is SL18. See, this is a problem. Someone played with tables, it seems. At the table level, somebody has changed this. Table it is showing, right? SE16. And if I go to this table, company code, let's see what about other company codes here. Currency type 10. This one is 2. This is the first time that somebody played with the table. That is the reason we are stuck. Anyone from ABAP here? How to change at the table level? Any idea? You want to change this?
Go to the table entry. I think there is option change. Go to table entry. I think Gaurav.
Which one?
At left corner,
Oh,
table entry.
okay. No, display only.
Hmm. Okay. So
Delete.
there is must be.
Okay, but, this is definitely something which someone has done at the table level. That is a problem. People are testing the server like anything. They are trying all the different things. Okay, what we can do? This is always translation because it means that whenever you are posting some transaction in any other currency, let's say for example your company code is INR and you are posting something in USD. So at what date the rate should take place? Is it going to be the posting date or the translation date? It has to be translation date always. Very standard settings. I don't know who played with this. Okay. Satyendra has a suggestion. Let's see. Uh, Basic settings, Satyendra?
Not sure. I'm just checking in Google.
Okay.
Just someone suggested like this. That's why I paste you. Just check if it is
Okay,
working.
it's calculation. Then it is change foreign currency translation. I think this will not allow 10. No, this is company specific. We want currency type. It's at the company code level. We want to change at the client level. Okay, just a minute. Ledger, ledger. This global currency we cannot change actually. See, it is even not allowing us to select and delete so that we can create another entry. It is allowing us to create new entry, but this one it is not allowing to delete. This is by default entry. Let's see. 10, I think it will not. Okay, 10 it is allowing. Let's see. This is okay. Source currency type 00. Exchange rate type M. Translation date, this one. Enter. Already exists. And if you want to delete that, there is no option. Select entries before performing the function.
It's not getting deleted after selecting that line.
No, no, no. We are not able to select also. See, I'm clicking on this,
Okay.
not getting selected at all because that is normal. This one is very critical. Company code currency always has to be standard. There should not be any kind of manipulation onto that. I don't know. This is not possible at all. This is only at the table level someone has gone and done it. I don't know what he's trying.
In AC16, can you try if we are able to change data?
He tried, no?
AC16.
Okay. Want to change this one?
Table into
No, change this.
only display option.
Yeah, only change this. This is correct also. Otherwise, this is very critical. I think in the debug
Go.
thing,
I think here in debug mode we can change.
this is very, very critical. Entire system can go for dump if this is not properly done.
Any ABAP expert here? Table is this one. Okay, and let's go for desktop one view. What is name of that field? CURDT. Okay, let's go out first. SE16 and currency type 10. Now if I go to debug mode, double click on this CURDT. How to populate the value here?
Will it allow in SM30 to change?
I don't think so because SM30 is just a view for.
Generally, generally used for custom tables, but
Try that. But this is if you know this, it is very easy. Maybe someone can you try in Google just how where exactly which tab you need to put. I'll also try here. Someone from you try also parallelly in Google. This is very simple. I've done this multiple times, but I'm not able to recollect where to go and what to do. This one is variable. It should show the value here. Then we can click on edit and we can save. So it is not so difficult. Only thing is why it is not showing the value. Okay, here this is what. No. Sorry for this. This is something which even I have not expected that somebody is playing at the table level. Okay, let's try SM30.
This is our table. Maintain incomplete or not defined. It can take us to customization, but it is the same thing what we already know. Let's see display. No. Define settings for ledgers. This is same thing what we know. Check and define settings for controlling area. Maintain number. Activate. This is going to be the same thing.
I think better to try it through the debug mode only.
Yeah, that is the what is this define currency settings for M. No, this is also not correct. This is something else related to. Yeah, you got some point how to change through the debug.
Yeah, I have seen something,
Okay.
but if you go to the SE16 or SE11,
SE11.
SE11, just table level, just
Change or what? Change.
here, go to change.
Okay. I'll just provide this as 10. Okay.
Just click on where do you want to change. Just select the area
Okay.
and the /h.
But this is one. No? Double click.
Yeah, the debug mode.
Yeah, debug mode only.
Set value.
I think here you will have to do F5 or F7, then value will start to come in here. Variable. I think, not sure.
In variables one field, under that one we can see that actually the field name, and we can get the change mode.
Yeah, but same thing. I'm expecting it here, so that once the value comes.
Yeah, so it should be something change mode over there.
How to get value?
If you just keep coming down through the line by one,
Understand?
so we can see entered by what is the value it is showing.
Okay.
Anywhere if you run it, I think so. But selecting the debug mode, it has to show us straight away at the same value what we have selected, and with the change mode sign.
Right. Once the value is populated, then wait forward. But how to populate? I will remove this from recording. Huh?
No, something wrong.
No. This way the value will not come. You moving your cursor, right? You click on the somewhere in the table and all, then it will value will come. You just put the double bracket here, CURDT and double the bracket here, and press enter. No, not middle one, not this bracket. I
Which
just
one?
pasted in chat.
Sorry?
I pasted in chat that bracket. Not this is the smaller one, right? You put it the uh, bigger one. It's like that.
Can you just type on the chat screen? Okay.
Yeah, I done it.
Okay. This one.
Just check. Yeah, enter. Nothing is came. Mhm.
Okay. What we can do otherwise? Okay, forget about this. Unnecessarily, we will waste time in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me try one more time. Is there any config? I don't think so because this is something which is standard. It should not be changed at all.
I can means there is a Bookers is not coming, right? Company code.
No. This is valid for all because company code currency 10, it is not restricted to any company code. It is valid
Any
for
yeah,
all.
correct, yes.
This one we already seen. I don't think there is any other setting which is configuring the currencies. Okay. The problem is we cannot see further. Okay, what I'll do is no problem. I'll solve this and without wasting any time. Maybe this our scenario I will show you once again, but I'll just go further now. I will show you some postings which are already made in the table. Okay, so what will be done next is as soon as our document is posted, it will generate a line in as you know MGPF and MSEG, right? These are the tables that we were using earlier. So if I just say execute, okay, as soon as I go with this MKPF and MSEG, you will be still be able to see the values here. It will show you the values. Okay, but if you remember, I told you earlier, even if the data you will be able to see, because what will happen to your reporting if you are already created some Z reports which are trying to get the data from MKPF and MSEG. So those reports will still work because although these tables are no more updating the data physically in the table, physically in MKPF, but still from reporting point of view, they are getting the values. And how? Any idea? I told you last time how this is managed, how MKPF is showing value. Do you remember we discussed about CDS views? Okay, what are CDS views? CDS views means if I ask something from MKPF, although this data is not physically stored in this table, but internally it will redirect to another main table, that is MATDOC. Okay, how can I check that whether this MKPF is really storing the value or this is just redirecting to some other table? So that one you can see via transaction SE11. If you go to SE11 and say display, okay, just go to this utilities, runtime object and display.
See what is happening here. This physical table is not same table. MKPF is a table which is when you ask any information from this table, in the runtime, it is transferring the control to this view. This is a view. Okay, how I know this is the view? Again, let's copy this. So Control Y, Control C. Okay, now this is a physical table. If I take this and go to the definition of this table, if you click on display, okay, see, this is a view. This is not a table. I'll show you the difference. If I go to SE11, if I talk from MKPF, let's say you can see MKPF as the definition is still table. Okay, but it is not storing any value physically in this table. Anytime, whenever you ask any information from MKPF, although there is not a single line available in MKPF, in the runtime, okay, I've shown you in the runtime, it is going to this view. Okay, how can you see whether this is a table or a view? See, table is fields also, you can see just fields, but if you come to this view, it is called as view fields. Okay, another information, you can see as a table, you can see technical settings, indexes, append structure, there are a lot of things. But if you see view, all these options are not available for views. Okay, now if this is a view, what do you mean by view? View means it is just a query which is bringing the data from other tables. Now if you want to know this view is bringing the data from where, so you can go to this table and join conditions. Okay, here it will tell you, see, the data is coming from MAT-DOC. So ultimately what is happening, whenever you ask any information from MKPF, it is redirecting to this view, and this view is getting the data from MAT-DOC. So earlier there were around 32 tables which were physically storing the data. Okay, so MKPF was not transferring the control. MKPF has their own values physically stored in that tables. We were getting the values from there. But now if you go to MKPF, MSEG, there are a lot of tables. Okay, even if I try MSEG, you'll find the same thing. If you go to display, then you go to utilities and say runtime object, display, see, there is another physical view. If I copy this, go back, enter it here, go on display, this is a view. If I go to tables, you can see it is bringing the data from MAT-DOC and some other view. Again, if I double click on this to see, so this is just, I think, some key columns. Okay, so this is some additional information, but otherwise you can see most of the data is coming from MAT-DOC. If you want to see which fields are coming from MAT-DOC, okay, these are the fields which it is bringing from other tables. This is the total MAT-DOC table. If you want to see only fields which are coming, then you can go here and find out, see, from table these fields are coming. Okay, so from MAT-DOC it is bringing the client, it is bringing the material number, it is bringing the material document here, and towards the end I think the other table which is also being used, some columns from that table. This is a structure, something is also coming from structure, and this is a table, you can see the other table that we seen. Okay, so most of the columns are directly coming from MAT-DOC only. So there is only one main table. All other tables which were getting updated at the time of transactions, they will not get updated now. Everything will be available in MAT-DOC at the time of reporting. Whatever table you are using, if you are using MKPF, MSEG, MARC, whatever different tables, the data will, like whenever you execute that particular report, the transfer from MKPF will be done to the runtime object, which is a view, and that view will bring the data from the final table, that is MAT-DOC. Okay, so this is the difference between a view and a table. View is not storing the data physically in the database. View is just transferring the control to some other table. Okay, so I told you about MKPF and MSEG. They are not going to store any data physically in the system. What do you think about MARC? What is MARC? MARC, MARD, what these tables are doing?
Material description and general material data.
Okay, material data definitely, but what kind of data? Is it master data or the transactional data?
It's master data.
It's master plus aggregate. If you remember, I told you earlier. So if I show you MARC, for example, let's go for display. Okay, let's first execute this and see for a particular plant, maybe SL08. Let's see if there is some data here. Okay, see for a particular plant, instead of this, let's go for settings and technical names. Okay, so if I double click on this,
User parameter.
yeah, where is that?
User parameter you can.
Setting in
Setting.
setting. User
User
parameter.
parameter.
And here.
Yeah. Field label.
Okay, so there are a lot of fields which are actually relevant to master data, but there are still some fields. Okay, here I'm not able to get because it is restricted. So let's go for, instead of MARC, let's do this for MARD. Display, execute, plant SL08. Okay, so settings, user parameters, field label. Okay, it is already field label. Good. Can you see this unrestricted quantity? Is this a master data? How much quantity is available in this combination of plant, storage location and material? So for this material at this plant at this storage location, this is the available quantity. Is this master data available quantity?
No, it's stock related data. Stock.
It
It is
is,
transactional.
yes, it is transactional data. So what is happening is every time, let's say for example, if I'm talking about ECC now, in ECC, whenever I post any transaction, for example, I will post another 9 quantity for this particular material. So what will happen? This will become 1000. So this thing is calculation 991 plus 9. In ECC, it is happening at the transactional level. When you are doing the MIGO, at that time, this calculation is performed and this table is updated. That is the reason why it is taking much time. Now in SAP S4HANA, this table will not be updated at all, MARD, at the time of transaction, because although you are able to see this 991 here, but this is not physically stored in this table. What is happening in the background? Every time when you ask MARD, how much is the total quantity available, during the report, it will go to MATDOC, perform the calculation and give it to you faster. And as I told you, this calculation can be performed in fraction of seconds because SAP HANA has a very powerful calculation engine. Okay, so let me show you that. So for MARD, if I go for if I go for MARD and then go for utilities, runtime object, display, see there is another view. If I take this view, copy it and go for this definition, okay, this is the view and the data is coming from, see some of the data is directly coming from MARD, master data. Okay, so we are not saying MARD is not storing anything physically. All the master data things, they are still stored in MARD only, but only unrestricted quantity and the columns which are related to calculations, aggregates, those are now directly getting updated in the main table. They are not getting updated in MARD directly. Okay, so that data is coming from, let's say for example, this is another view. So it is possible one view is calling another view, that view is again calling some another view. Finally, you will get a table. So let's see, if I double click on this, again if I go for table, another view, okay, another view, if I go to that view, See, it is extract. So let's see if this is a table or this is a field. This is extract is a table. So stock change data, this is another table which is getting updated from the history point of view. Okay, but this is also something which is not physically storing the data. Let's see whether it is physically storing or not. Yeah, this is physically storing. Okay, so MAT-DOC extract is something which is physically storing. So ultimately what is happening, many tables are gone. There are only some MAT-DOC and MAT-DOC underscore extract. There are some new tables which are providing you the information directly instead of updating many different tables. Okay. So in short, now whatever transactions we post, there is only one physical table which is getting updated, and that is MAT-DOC. So if I remove MAT-DOC, sorry, if I put MAT-DOC here, show you in display mode. First of all, whether it is a view or a table. So if I go to runtime object and display, see, this is a table because it is not redirecting to anything else. Okay, so whatever information you are getting in this table when you perform SE11 or SE16, since it is not transferring anywhere else, data is available here itself. Okay, and what data is available? If I execute this, let me just enter this SL18. Don't worry about this. These are all technical things. This one, okay, this split GUID and all this is. I think in next version they are saying this will not confuse you also. They will be only updated in the background. So don't worry about this. These are our main columns. You will always find this technical fields available in the table, but you just ignore that. If you execute this now, sorry, it is SL08. Okay, you are getting this information here. Now the question is, how many fields are available in MAT-DOC? 340 fields. 340 fields in MAT-DOC. Okay, so whatever fields you were getting in MKPF, whatever fields you were getting in MSEG, those are all available at one single place. So MAT-DOC definitely will be a huge table, but only table from materials management point of view. Okay, any question here? Now you know how to see whether a table is a physical table or it is a view. How to identify what are CDS views and what are the physical tables. You just need to go to the SE11 transaction, enter the table name, go to utilities, runtime object, and click on display. Okay, so this approach they started for CDS views starting from 1511. Okay, so when we are talking about logistics, same approach is followed for all logistics tables. Okay, but when SAP came up with simple finance, okay, I don't want to confuse you, but just to give you a hint, when SAP came up with simple finance, approach was not same. There was no runtime object there. They actually converted the main tables itself. For example, are you aware of BSIK, BSID? So from sales point of view, BSAD, BSID. From purchasing point of view, BSIK, BSAK. Any idea what are these tables? Very common tables from even from MMSD. Many times we use those. You execute FBL 5N, FBL 1N. What are those transactions?
Let's say in FP alpha n we can make it's a what is a credit control something.
No. FBL 1N and FBL 5N. It is not a credit control.
It's
FBL 1N is for open items for vendor. Open and cleared items for vendor. Okay, many times your customer asks you to give you the report how many open items are there. Open items in the sense how many payments are not made. So normally whenever we post any Miro, it will be updated in FBL1N. Similarly, from billing point of view, FBL5N. Customer point of view, if you want to see open items, cleared items, that is FBL5N. So behind this FBL1N and FBL5N, there are some index tables. Every time when you ask for open items for vendor, data is coming from BSIK table. This was a table in ECC, BSIK. Okay. So the difference is, I told you if you want to see whether this is a physical table or it is redirecting to view, is to go to display and go for runtime object. But the thing is, here you can see this main table itself is converted as a view. Okay, so for financial tables, you will find they are not redirecting, they are not going to any another runtime object. They are directly converted as a views. So within the definition itself, you will be able to see from where the data is actually coming. Okay, so these were the tables which are converted directly as the views. You got this point? What is the difference between CDS view? This is something which we are discussing from day one. Wherever you go and see some documentation on SAP S4, the first thing they will say is many tables are removed, they are converted as views. And if somebody is asking you how will you identify whether a particular table or a view, just go to SE11 runtime object. If there is a corresponding view, a physical table is available, then it is a view. If it is blank, then definitely it is a table. Okay. Any question till now?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, another thing. Let me show you. So we've seen some data from SE08. I'll just continue to show you one more thing. So let's say, for example, I will go to ME23N. I just want to show you, apart from this document, what other things will be posted when you do the MIGO. So one is definitely your materials document, and normally when you post any material document, parallelly it will also affect accounting documents and material ledger controlling documents also, right? So how they are updated, let me show you that.
Gaurav,
Yes.
there is one question that you saw that the material laser will stop at the time of posting in the in Vigo, right?
Mhm.
If I will create the sales order, where it will stop me?
No,
At
no, no.
the
See from
means
SD
at the time
point
of delivery or PGI? Mm-hmm.
yeah, see from SD point of view, you can
Mm-hmm.
create a sales order. You can
Mm-hmm.
say it's like till the time you are not making the delivery, because only at the time of
Okay.
delivery it will create a material document.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, correct.
So it is
So,
at the time of materials movement, whether you are issuing or receiving or whatever
okay.
you do. So in short, whenever it tries to
Okay.
update MAT
It means it will go to PGI. PGI level it will stop.
this is first thing. Let me tell you the second thing also. 1610.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about 1610 as of now. In 1610, it will stop you at the time of materials movement. Now in 1709, it will stop you at the time of material creation itself.
Oh,
Okay, so when you go to MM01 and try to create a material for a plant where there is no
mhm.
material ledger activated, it will throw the error. So first you need to activate material ledger and then only you can create material. That is the
Okay.
reason
Okay.
I'm showing you both so that there should not be confusion, because most of the projects which are going on today,
they are on 1610. So if you go there and you find why it is showing the why material at the material level it is not throwing the error, so you should know, okay, there is some change in 1610 and 1709. Okay, yeah, I was trying to show you, and whether it is opened or not. Material document. Let me close this. ME23N. Okay, I'll just take this as an example. SL13. See, what we have done here is we have created this purchase order, and let me first see whether Migo is done for this or not. So I'll go with this material. This is okay. Sorry, I double clicked on material. I think for this we are not done. Let me come up with, okay, maybe otherwise I'll go to MB03. MB03 material document. See, if you go through the certification documents, you will find MB01, MB02, MB03 are all obsolete. But still, as of now, even 1709 also, you will just get a message, but still you are able to see. So going forward, they will be deleted, but as of now, they are still available. Okay, so we got this, some of the material documents number. I just want to show you one. I'll copy this material document. Okay, let's double click on this. If you can open here itself. Okay, so normally when you open the material document, if you want to see corresponding accounting postings, we go to document info, right? Where we find the documents, accounting documents which are posted for this particular transaction. So I'll go for document info, FI documents. Now here it shows us FI document, and also if controlling is active, controlling document, if COPA is active, COPA document, right? Only thing, if material ledger was not active, it was not showing you document, and if it is active, definitely it will show you material ledger document also. Now since material ledger is active, definitely for each and every transaction you will find a material ledger document also available here. There is one important change. Although material ledger document will be available, but it is not going to be same. It is not, maybe let it open, I'll show you what is the difference. This material ledger document is always statistical. What do you mean by statistical? It means material ledger is also simplified in Simple Finance. Okay, so if there were multiple different tables earlier in SAP ECC for material ledger, now even material ledger data is also going to be stored in one single table called as AC-Doc A. So similar to MAT DOC, which is for materials, one common table for all material transactions, we have one single table for financial transactions, which is AC-Doc A. Okay, so this you can see, this is accounting document and this is material ledger document. So normally, whatever documents are created, it is started from the digit. Okay, so these are the actual document, but this you can see, it is just a statistical document, which means no more separate updation of material ledger tables. This is a universal document. This is called as universal document now. In SAP Simple Finance, they came up with the concept of universal journal, which means one single document for all financial components. If you are using FI, if you are using CO, if you are using COPA, if you are using asset accounting, earlier it was creating different documents for each different component. Now, one single document called as universal journal document. So this is a universal journal document, and since this material ledger is already part of this universal journal, no separate document number required. So this is something which is internal, statistical. Okay, how to see that? If I copy this and go to table AC doc A. Okay, this is the another motivation why SAP made material ledger mandatory, because material ledger is already simplified in simple finance. Okay, so out of 15-20 tables already they came to only 3 or 4 tables. So if they don't utilize material ledger, if you're not activating material ledger, then old inventory valuations will be required. So they removed that, and also from material ledger, from 15-20 tables, only 2 or 3 tables remaining now. Okay, so if I go for AC doc A and if I just take this number for company code SL13, execute. So this is one main table for accounting, similar to MAT DOC for materials. This is a table for accounting. Okay, and here again you will find around 350 columns, because whatever data is coming from BKPF, whatever data is coming from BSEG, even lot of data from materials management, you can see even material number, PO document number, vendor, everything is available at one single place, so that you should not move from one table to another table to get the information. Most of the table available at one common place. So from material ledger point of view, you will also see this purchasing document number, also chart of account, everything available at one single place. So for material ledger also, you can see this document is available here. Currently we are not activated any components of material ledger. That is the reason these fields are blank. If you are also using material ledger, then you will find all these fields are also getting updated. Okay, because in our case it is only technically updated, technically activated. Similarly, COPA and all. COPA also, everything will be posted here. Earlier there were separate tables for COPA. Okay, no need to go into detail, but what I mean to say here is, for material ledger, the main motivation for SAP to make it mandatory was material ledger was already simplified. Okay, and if you are not using material ledger, then you will not be able to make the use of that simplification. So they said, instead of only part of the customers being benefited by this feature, let's make it mandatory so that everybody is benefited. Okay, another thing, what about integration, FI and MM integration? Because we are talking about simple finance, we are talking about simple logistics. Is there any change? Is there any difference how the integration will work? Answer is no. You can still continue to use OBYC from materials management point of view, and VKOA from SD point of view. They are still available. On top of that, there are some Fiori apps also available from where you can configure the same account determination. But otherwise, your transaction keys, account keys, they are exactly same. Even your conditions from pricing and all, they are exactly same. Okay, there are small changes in the pricing that anyways we are going to discuss, but otherwise when we talk about integration, it is exactly same. So OBYC and VKOA, they are still available, but normally we can use SAP Fiori also to perform these configurations. Okay, any questions? Okay, one or two small things I will complete, and then maybe we can stop today, because we need to solve that error so that we can see our practical scenarios directly in our own company code. Okay, so now we understood output determination, we understood material ledger, we understood how
the tables are affected, what is the difference between a view and a table. If you remember, I told you there is something called a simplified pricing. Okay, it is a big name, but if you see, there are only two changes in pricing. One is, any idea which is a table which holds the pricing information, like pricing conditions in a purchase order or a sales order?
KONV.
KONV, right? KONV. We created lot of sales orders, we created lot of purchase orders, but if I execute this, see, there is no values. Okay, and the name itself, you see, this table is obsolete and replaced by PRCD underscore elements. Okay, normally, whenever SAP deletes a particular table, they created a view, right? So even if this table is removed, they should created a view. If I execute this, the data should be automatically coming from this. But I don't know, for this particular table, they have not done that. Okay, so they just created a new table, PRCD underscore elements. Only difference is this table used to be a cluster table. So that is again a technical. Cluster tables are always slow. But this one, PRCD underscore elements, this is available as a transparent table. Okay, so this will be definitely faster compared to KONV, but the problem is that it is not automatically redirected to this table. Okay, both of these are table. I'm not saying this is a view. This is also a table, but there is no view created to transfer control from here to here. So there will be lot of problem if you are going for uh, conversion. For new implementation, no worries, because earlier there was KONV, now there will be PRCD underscore elements. So even if you want to write a Z code, you will be directly writing on PRCD underscore elements. But the problem is with conversion. If you are going for conversion project and customer is already using some Z reports or Z codes, which are trying to get the data from KONV or which are trying to write the data on KONV, then definitely you need to change the code. You have to adjust the code. Now, one thing that you can do is, obviously you can go for replacement. Wherever you are using KONV, it will be replaced with PRCD underscore elements. This is one option. The second option is, SAP has provided one PDF document I will share with you. It is called as pricing cookbook. Okay, this pricing cookbook, it is something to be they created for ABAPers. So instead of replacing KONV with PRCD underscore elements, they are recommending the way in which it will be better if they follow that document instead of just replacing. Okay, it is too much of technical. Even if you see, it may not make any sense, but it will be handy when you are working on the project, so that at least you can give it to your ABAPer and tell him, okay, this is how I want to change my codes from KONV to PRCD underscore elements. Okay, so that is the only difference. If you try PRCD underscore elements, you will find all the conditions, whatever you were getting till now, in KONV. Okay, this is only for KONV, because there are also some other tables for pricing headers and all, which is KONP. So KONP is still available. Only KONV has been replaced with PRCD underscore elements. If I execute this, you will still see all those conditions, pricing document conditions and all still available in the same way. Okay, this is one thing. Because of this, speed. Okay, the only intention of doing this is speed, moving from cluster to transparent table. Second change, which is again relevant to pricing, is normally when we configure pricing, maybe I'll go to /v/07. Yeah, so normally when you configure pricing, you create access sequence. Within the access sequence, you can have different accesses, right? So combinations. Any idea what can be the maximum number of accesses that you can have in this one? Okay, maybe anyone who, how much maximum have you used in any customer? how many accesses? Here there are 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
99.
99 you used?
No, I not used 99. Maximum I used 10 to 12. That's it. But
Okay.
I'm saying
Anyone?
that 99 we can use it.
Yeah, 99 is the maximum. Okay, fine. But anyone who thinks 99 is not enough, and anyone who has used more than 10, 12. Okay. So although 99 is more than sufficient, Satyendra is right. We can in ECC we can have up to 99 accesses within the access sequence. But still, there were some customers, not today, around 10, 15, 20 years back also. They said 99 is not sufficient for us. Okay, there are some customers, there are some industries who said to SAP that we want more than 99. So what they have done is SAP has provided them the pilot node. Okay, pilot node means you apply this SAP node and one additional digit will be added, which means currently the field length is 2 digits. Okay, if you apply that SAP node at the table level, this will become 3 digits. So you can use up to 999 accesses within the system. So now in SAP S4HANA, by default, they support 3 digits, which means from 99 to 999. So if a customer has a requirement, they don't need to go with that pilot node. By default, SAP S4HANA supports up to 999 accesses within the access sequence. So that is a second change within pricing. So now if I click on new entry, it will allow me 3 digits. In ECC, it was only 2 digits. Okay, any questions? Raju, you unmuted.
Just I was going to say 999 they have changed.
Yes, 99 to 999. So this thing also from the certification point of view also this question is favorite for SAP. They will ask you what is the maximum length, sorry, what is the maximum number of accesses that you can have for SAP S4HANA. So they will say 999, 999, 9999. You need to specify. Okay, so this is about pricing. Yeah, so I think maybe we can stop here because next thing I want to show you is we will do this whatever we have done through Fiori. So this one was normal, right? Now what are the benefits if we try to do the same scenario from Fiori point of view? So you'll find simplified screens. You will see there are some screens or there are some app which is developed by SAP. So in ECC, if you need to go for 4 different transaction codes to complete a transaction, now you can do it in one single transaction. So those kind of things I will directly show you on SAP Fiori. Okay, any question?
There is no other changes apart from that in pricing.
No, pricing, these are the only 2 changes. Even in SD also the same thing.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
these 2 things what we discussed, they are valid for MM as well as SD pricing.
Okay.
Okay, so if no questions, we can close. And yeah, just 1 minute.